So coming on to what is data types. Data types specify the type of the data which is stored in the variable. So as we know, variables can hold values. We have to know what the data type it is holding. The data type of the value it is holding. So looking on to the example, number is equals to 10. Here number is the variable and 10 is the value. So the number variable's data type is integer. Till now we would have come across many data types like integer, float, character and so on. Integer holds the uh, whole value, whereas floating values will be having decimal point values. So looking on to Python data types, we have these many data types in Python, which is numeric, boolean, mapping, set, none and sequence. Let us look on to what is numeric data type. Numeric data type holds the number value, which is int, float and complex. Integers will be holding whole numbers like from 0 to infinity, but whereas float will be holding decimal values like point values, and complex will be having complex values. So looking on to sequence. Sequence is also an ordered collection of items. It like string, list and tuple, it will be holding the collection of elements in single variable. So mapping. Mapping will be holding the data in key value pairs. It will be having a key and a value. So key value pairs which is denoted with dictionary. Dictionaries are mapping data types. Boolean data types are referred as true and false values. Set is a collection of unique items, and set has set and frozen set data types. None is a different type which will be having no data type for it. When a variable has nothing inside it, we assign it to none data type. Now let us look on to the data types in detail. So coming on to first one, numeric data type. As I told, numeric data types are the number values which is int, float and complex. Integer will be holding the integer values with non-limited length. Okay, so then the float will be holding decimal point values which is not accurate like 15 decimal places and so on. It will be having the point values. Look on to the given example. Number 1 is equals to 10. So 10 is an integer value because it is whole, it is not having any point values. But number 2 is a point value which is 3.142. It is a point value, so it is having a floating data type. Number 3 is assigned to 5 plus 10j, so it is a complex value. So when we uh, try to find out which data type it is, we are using type function. Python has a inbuilt type function to find out which type the variable is. So by assigning print with type of num1, we are getting the output as int, because 10 is an integer data type, and number 2 we are getting float, number 3 we are getting complex. So looking on to what is sequence data types. Sequence data types is a collection of data types, like it can be strings, lists and tuples. A single string will be having multiple values, or a list can also have multiple values. Whereas we knew a variable can hold only single value, but suppose if one variable has to hold more than one value, means what can we do? We have to assign it to string, list or tuples, so on. So looking at to what is string. String can be defined as sequence of characters, because a collection of characters is known as string, including white spaces. White spaces also counted as a uh, space holding character. So looking onto the given example, string 1 is I space love space Python. So this is a string which is holding multiple values in it. So I love Python is a value given to string 1. So here we are printing the statement with different quotes using double quotes, single quotes and triple quotes. You can see the difference in it. To print the statement in the single line, we can use double quotes and single quotes, whereas if we want to print the statement in more than one line, we can use triple quotes. So look at the string 3. We have used triple quotes. I love Python, triple quotes. So it is printing the statements in 3 lines. So when we use type function to find out which type the given string is, it is representing string data type. So looking on to what is list data type. List data type is an ordered collection of similar or different types of items. The items can be of the same data type or different data types. So it is called as list. Now we are using um, square brackets to represent the lists. Suppose we are considering an example as languages. So in computer languages we have C, Java and Python. To represent the characters we are using double quotes inside it, and to separate them we are using commas. To represent it as a list we are using square brackets. So language is equal to C, Java and Python. This is a list. So when we have we require to print a single element from the given list, we can use their place values, because the list starts from 0. The C is having the place value 0, index value as 0, and Java 1, Python is holding 2. So when we print language of 0, C is getting printed, and when we print languages 1, Java is getting printed, languages of 2 is Python is getting printed. So when we try